What's going on, YouTube world? This is your guy, as always, Sealz the man. Thank you for always coming back and watching and checking out my videos. As I talk about understanding the mind of men, for those who don't know, the new viewers, I created this channel for my two younger nieces so that when they become of age, they will understand men just a little bit better. But I've been able to help so many more people, and I'm thankful for that. And on tonight's video, we're going to talk about the top regrets that men have when it comes to their past relationships. For this specific video, I surveyed 10 men and took out the best, most intriguing regrets that they had when it came to their past relationships. But before I start, make sure you follow me, subscribe, like, comment, do all those amazing things for your brother. And also make sure you check out all my videos. I got playlists, I got videos talking about all types of things and understanding the mind of men and how men think. I truly believe y'all will enjoy that, so check those out. And you know what? Let's get started. One of the regrets that a lot of the men had was the concept of the grass is always greener on the other side. We've all heard the saying, right? And for those who don't know or are not familiar with it, the grass is always greener on the other side means there is a higher possibility of there being greater things elsewhere than the current situation you're in right now. So a lot of these men told me that they had that mindset when it came to their woman. And the crazy thing about it is a good amount of them said they had a good woman, but they wanted a greater woman. They had a good thing, but they thought there was a better thing out there. They were not appreciative of the thing they had. They were not appreciative of the blessing they had in her and the relationship that they had together. So they thought there was better elsewhere. And that was one of their biggest mistakes, because a lot of them also told me when they went to that other lawn of grass that they thought was greener, it turned out to be brown grass, dead grass, grass full of bugs and snakes. Not what they planned. And the funny thing about it, a few of them said they listened to their mama. Their mama told them there's always fish in the sea. Go after them. You're young. So even though they had a whole mermaid in this woman, now they're stuck with a whole piranha because they thought things were going to be better elsewhere, that they were going to find a better woman. And that was one of their biggest mistakes, as they were told to me. The next biggest mistake that I heard from these men, and a lot of men made this mistake as well, is not giving their all to make things work before ending it. That is a major problem with today's relationships. Like, you see it all the time. People getting divorced, people breaking up after a simple argument, after a debate, after a disagreement. It seems like in today's relationships, there is no more trying. There is no more persevering. There is no more giving chances. There is no more patience. Today's relationships have this popcorn mentality when it comes to relationships. If it's not right now, I don't want it later. If things aren't going my way now, I'm going to end it now. There seems to be no more discipline in the mindsets of our people. Relationships are hard. They're tough. They will bring the best out of you, but only if you want it. But a lot of these men made this mistake because, just like how I mentioned, things weren't going their way. Not knowing that if they tried, if they gave themselves a shot, if they gave themselves a chance to hear each other out, to further communication when there's a disagreement, there may have been a chance to make things work. But that chance was never made because they were quick to end it. They were quick to exit. So a lot of these men I spoke to, one of the worst mistakes they made was that. And a lot of men around the world do the same. The next mistake that these men told me about was letting their logic rule their mindset and decision making, and not being considerate of their woman's emotional side. So there's a common consensus and traits when it comes to the gender, right? Between male and female. Generally, the male is more logical, and generally the female is more emotional. She's more in tune with her feelings, while most men are more results oriented. I also made a video on this, so check that out. So when it comes to the logical mind, when things don't make sense, when 1 + 1 doesn't equal 2, then everything's wrong. But what a lot of men don't understand is that there is a different kind of chemistry when it comes to our women. If all women and men thought the same, this world would have blew up a long time ago. There is a reason why God made women women, and how they think and how they act and how they react. And there's a reason why he made men men, and how they think and how they act, because they truly complement each other when they come together properly. So what I learned from these men was that they did not consider that. They did not consider the different chemistry of their woman compared to theirs. And therefore, if things didn't make sense to them, she was automatically wrong. Instead of trying to complement their differences, they capitalize on their differences. Big mistake. The next regret that I learned from these men, that these men had, was their immature version. And Lord knows this one touches my heart too. There's this feature on Facebook where it shows you old quotes and old statuses you used to write back in the day on Facebook, like, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, whatever. And man, when I tell you, when those things pop up, I get so embarrassed because I was so immature. That was a whole nother Sealz back then. I can't even compare my current self to that version of myself. I was just immature, undisciplined, just out here just doing whatever, not knowing what life was about. And a lot of these men felt the same way. But because I was this way, I treated my relationships in the same fashion. It is generally known that women develop faster mentally than men. And I pretty much believe that because I've seen it myself. During college, during high school, usually the women I dated were way more mature than me. And I'm just be honest, let's be real here. I'm not trying to create a gender war, but let's be real here. And if I'm just speaking based on my experience, it's still the truth. But because these men were immature, they did not handle their relationships mature. They were playing around, playing games, lying, not being disciplined, not communicating, thinking everything's a joke. And because of that immature version of themselves, they lost a good woman, a good young woman that they could have grown with, created something beautiful with, developed something beautiful with. They lost that because they were immature. There's something about being young. When you're young, you think tomorrow's promised. When you're young, you don't think about the consequences of today. So you act that out. You do things because you think that way. And when it comes to relationships, when you're young and immature, you think you're always going to find another good one, another good woman. But as you grow older and you mature and you develop, you realize that is not so much the case. Because once you lose a good woman, or a good man in your case, you might not ever find one. They're pretty hard to find these days, so never waste that. So that was another regret that a lot of these men had. And the last big regret that these men had was not letting their woman help him because they were trying to fix everything themselves. See, a lot of these men are taught to fix everything themselves. They are taught to be men and man up. If you don't do it, who will? Suck it up and get it done. All this macho stuff. That's what it is to be a man. Boy, were we lied to. And because of that mentality, we thought we had to fix everything ourselves, that we couldn't evolve our woman, not knowing that our woman is our partner in life, our partner in our growth. Everything we do in this relationship, we have to do together. Because let's use common sense here. If something was to happen to the man and he did everything and fixed everything and didn't let her help anything, what's going to happen to the relationship? What's going to happen to her? If that man got into a car accident and lost all ability of all his extremities or lost his mind, what is there to do? Because I know for me, if I get stronger, I want my woman to get stronger. If I learn something, I want my woman to learn it too. If I have a problem, we have a problem because we're doing this together. This is a partnership. A true one. So a lot of these men regretted that, not letting their woman in, not collaborating with their woman. They had a whole superhero on the side of them and didn't capitalize on that and ended up losing their relationship because of it. So I hope this video helped y'all in understanding the mind of men and also understanding the common mistakes in men. And hopefully we'll all get better from lessons like this. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for watching my video, and I will see y'all on my next video. Have a good night. Peace and blessings. Goodbye.